So, I'm going to touch on a topic today of lizard men and the saying that lizard men control our society. We're going to start with some research and then we'll go from there. In my personal opinion, I do not believe lizard men exist. We would have more proof of lizard men existing. So, I'm going to show you some of my research to back that up and not just go down a conspiracy loophole. The reptilian or primal brain. In MacLean's triune brain model, the basal ganglia are referred to as the reptilian or primal brain, as this structure is in control of our innate and automatic self-preserving behavior patterns, which ensure our survival and that of our species. The primal brain is also in charge of what are often referred to as the four F's: feeding, fighting, fleeing, and reproduction. Notable behavior patterns include defense of self, family, and personal property, physical communication, and socially approved actions, such as handshakes, head nods, and bowing. The origins of reptilian complex. The term reptilian brain is derived from a long-standing belief within the field of neuroanatomy that the forebrains of reptiles and other small animals were dominated by these structures. Paul MacLean suggested within the triune brain model that the basal ganglia and a number of the surrounding structures within the base of the forebrain are responsible for species-typical behaviors, which are present in aggression, dominance, territorial, and ritual displays. It took millions of years for man's instincts to develop. It will take millions of more for them to even vary. It is fashionable to talk about changing man. A communicator must be concerned with unchanging man, with his obsessive drive to survive, to be admired, to succeed, to love, to take care of his own. William Birnbach, 1911-1982, American advertising creative director. We might not be living in the same world as primitive man, but we are still met with threatening and potentially dangerous situations. The brainstem is responsible for keeping us safe now, as it was for early man. The health and functioning of the brain region largely determines our ability to detect and respond to threats. At the most basic level, the brainstem helps us identify familiar and unfamiliar things. Familiar things are usually seen as safe and preferable, while unfamiliar things are treated with suspicion until we have assessed them and the context in which they appear. For this reason, designers, advertisers, and anyone else involved in selling products tend to use familiarity as a means of evoking positive emotions. I have a little example here of the reptilian brain at work. Let's watch.
Is that going to be our thing every week? Is that like everybody's standard bit in podcasting is to just make fun of Joe Rogan? Because it's fair, because he says a lot of dumb shit, but...
Grizzly bears are typically 3 to 5 feet tall when they're standing on all fours. Grizzly bears standing on their hind legs can reach almost 9 feet tall. That's 2.7 meters.
Holy God.
Fucking gigantic. And grizzlies weigh up from 700 to 900 pounds for males.
Jesus
Which
Christ.
is 317 and 400 kilos.
That's a lot.
This is not even a contest in my mind. Because it's just the mass. Male gorillas weigh upwards of 350 pounds.
Jeez, that's way less. That's like half the minimum of the bear.
The gorilla has its muscles and it's got stamina, right? And it can throw itself around, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the bear not only has the weight and the strength, but it's got these big meaty claws.
Meaty claws. And it's just
It does.
It's like getting hit with a table tennis paddle with claws on it.
Yeah, it's got
massive.
this big ass thing. It's like the big fucking cutting boards that they use to take pizza out of the oven. It's like a hit with those. God.
Bears have like extra thick hide. They also
Yeah.
are like. Have you ever seen them like chase down moose?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And everyone's always like, but gorillas have like human-like intelligence. It's like, yeah, we're fucking idiots. We think too much.
Also, yeah, they're smart, but like they're smart in the way that they can like maybe do sign language or whatever. They're not gonna like
Yeah, he's not gonna
break
pull out a
down
gun.
their fight and be like, oh man, I really need to like dodge.
It's like,
and
yeah,
weave
so he
from
has
this
he has the
fucking
weight
grizzly."
and height advantage, so I need to be quicker. And if I put this rock together with this branch, I can make like a AK-47 out of it. It's like Batman versus Superman. It's like gorilla would win with prep time.
Also, in that scenario where a gorilla and a grizzly bear are fighting, I don't think intelligence makes a difference because at that
No.
point it's all survival instinct.
Yeah.
So it
Have
doesn't
you ever seen
matter.
those videos of like grizzly bears fighting and he just like paws the other guy's bottom jaw off?
That is Ethan and Sean on their podcast, Brain Leak. Go check them out. I'm going to get back to my video. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for that. Maybe I do hope I get copyrighted for that, get some attention, whatever. But to get back to talking, the saying, lizard men run our country, to me, that means exactly like what we just saw. Just a bunch of men just breaking everything down. This thing can beat this thing can beat this thing, we can beat that can beat us. Like, our nation is run by lizard men. Not lizard people just wearing human skin, but just men using their lizard brain 24/7. Now, these are spirit videos, so eventually I'm going to come back around to spirit talk. But we got to get a lot of conversations out of the way first. So let's see where it takes us.